Even the so-called prodigies will end up as a pile of flesh and mud. Thus, a drop of essence splashed from the forehead. In an instant, the wooden mallet was surrounded by radiant light. An ancient breath permeates the air. Unexpectedly, go away. Wooden handle with temperature intertwining throughout. A phantom figure slowly emerges. A tremendous pressure surged forth, cold-blooded and heartless. The means are cruel. Wu Zin is drawn towards the light. How can I let you be in charge? The shadow roared in anger, striving to resist the invasion of vital essence. The wooden mallet trembles continuously. Zhu Beiwen felt offended. The expression faltered. Some sacred relics have a long history. There will be the existence of spirits. This guy has nothing but malice towards himself. He calmed down his emotions, revealing a gentle and natural effect. Did the senior make a mistake in judgment? I am a good person. If the spirit resists, it's quite tricky. The power of the holy energy cannot be unleashed at all. Wu glanced at you. I knew it. You are a mad and wicked person. Who doesn't mind losing face for a moment? Nor will I fawn over you. The wooden mallet swung wildly. A surge of violent energy approached. The sound waves rolled in. In an instant, the atmosphere was as stiff as iron. Zhu Beiwang's gaze was eerie. Walking out with a wooden mallet. I let you, Wu, throw it into the latrine to be suppressed for 10,000 years. Zhu Beiwang ultimately couldn't bear to discard a piece of sacred energy. I want our esteemed leader to take action. But as soon as he stepped into the Jiazhu pool, it was suddenly invaded by a terrifying chill. A bone-chilling cold is everywhere, like a shadow always following, like the cold breath of death, leaving him defenseless. No escape. Zhu Beiwen felt incredibly oppressed both physically and mentally, an expression of anxiety and unease. Thus, you just finished the chicken nuggets from the class monitor. I give you 1 day to leave Teichu Palace, or I'll drown you. Fifth Jin Shuang closed her eyes, radiating a chilling aura. The sound was like ice and rock that had never melted for thousands of years. As the voice faded away, the shadow of the subgroup vanished. Zhu Beiwen was momentarily stunned. He is lost and hesitant. What on earth is going on? The fat cat is lying in the hanging chair, swinging legs in the air. The candid hawthorn I found. There is one left. What's going on? Zhu Beiwen stared at him, anxiously stepped forward to question. Fat cat is as clever as a ghost. He is right here. He is right here. He is right here. The tongue carefully licked the last tangulu. Speak up. Zhu Beiwen snatched it away, glaring at him. Fat cat, don't turn your head and ignore me. Well, Zhu Beiwen is furious. Eating my food all day. Even you dare to take advantage of me. Come find me when you're craving something delicious again. You are a dog. A cold voice fell. He left without any hesitation. Silent, when, Fat cat, hurry up and go. He is right here. 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 He is a dog. A cold voice fell. He left without any hesitation. Silent, when, Fat cat quickly shouted out, grinning with a naive smile. He wanted to meow but stopped. Then placed both paws on the belly. Shyly pressed a button. Zhu Beiwen's expression froze. The cat's chest is on its belly. Is the boss feeling jealous? No matter how I think about it. It feels absurd. I humiliated Jai Minju. Zhu Beiwen carefully confirmed once again. The fat cat nodded a few times. Zhu Beiwen shouted, spoke in a hoarse voice. I absolutely have no intention of that." The fat cat nodded in agreement. Myo did nothing wrong. You must also reflect on your mistakes. Eat one more piece of meat. Meow! Meow suddenly appeared in the stinky ditch. Is he a reasonable person? What should I do? Zhu Beiweng's mind was in a mess. Fat cat swallowed the last candied hawthorn. Shyly it scurried away. What is it about Guan Mio Miao? One day I come to bid farewell. Zhu Beiwen lowered his head. With a face full of grief, Fifth Jin Shuang reclined and fell from the chair. Cold little fart clinging to him. Nodded slightly. Roll away. He just said, "I am sure I am. One day I have come to say my goodbyes." Zhu Beiwen lowered his head. With a face full of sorrow, Fifth Jin Shuang reclined and fell from the chair. A cold breeze brushed against him. Nodded slightly. Roll away. Zhu Beiwang's feet seemed rooted to the ground, unmoving. Instead, he took out a pair of badminton rackets from the storage realm. Feng Shen Dao. I personally crafted it. The story is half told. The badminton racket was snatched away. Di Jinshuang. The corners of my eyebrows remain icy. You can roll out. Zhu Beiwang slowly raised his head. The gaze lingered on the graceful figure of Zai Qinguo Jing amidst the wind and rain. The first time ignoring the divine prison guard. The gaze lingered on the towering, rounded bosom. Eyes like sharp blades. Staring intently like this. The air has become completely cold. Take one last look. I will gouge out your eyeballs. A chilling threat loomed in the air. Zhu Beiwang boldly swallowed his saliva. Said in a hoarse voice, "Empress, if I could just gently touch it, willing to descend into the 18 layers of hell. Eternal damnation without reincarnation." Ah! In an instant, a wild aura swept through. The white robe soars into the sky. Trapped in the void, the hurricane blew, causing hair to dance wildly. Fifth Jin Shuang's deep arms shimmered gently with rippling light. "Ah Shen Dao." Say it again. Zhu Beiwang was immobilized in the air, although the expression was dim and lifeless. But the tone is strong and powerful. She was truly beautiful. I couldn't help but be captivated at first glance. The breath was almost frozen. Fifth Jin Shuang's eyes sparkled for a moment. There seems to be a subtle sense of surprise and pride. She rolled up her skirt sleeve. She said lazily, "This will not happen again. Otherwise I will drown you." Encounter. The white robe soars to the sky. In an instant, Zhu Beiwang disregarded the pain. Can't help but give a thumbs up for my own cleverness. I have been disrespectful. It's all because the princess is too alluring. She dared not look at the treasure-like scarf again. Just honestly appreciate the black stockings. Daiwu Jinshuang slightly raised her chin. Uninvited encounter. Saying the same thing once is enough. After a pause. Cold voice warning. Don't look around with your eyes amour. Do not challenge me, Qin Hui. Her eyes cannot see. I take a glance. 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 Compare liver. Ben Q. And Fifth Jin Shuang gently. Oh, why they? As the sound of the bell faded, 2 cracks suddenly appeared on the wooden handle. The aura of the treasure fell from the sacred level to the heavenly level. Zhu Beiwen looked eagerly. Nine Yang hum. The eerie compass hung high, surrounded by swirling patterns. The alchemical materials appeared one by one. Fifth Jin Shuang casually extended her hand, creating a vortex that spun in a rhythmic motion, transformed into tiny specks of starlight, all falling onto the wooden handle. All right, He wanted to intertwine and return to a lazy demeanor. Zhu Beiwang sensed the aura of the magical artifact. Suddenly it was a saint level. The older brother is still the best. He swaggered forward, pretending to be confident. Your Highness, let's play ball. This time I will definitely win against you. The rules are— Tiwu Jinshuang listened intently, though somewhat absent-mindedly. You're both lazy and playful. I want to see how you win. Chapter 86, Zhu Meng's Grand Establishment. Zhangzhu, Wan Yugu Yu. Streaks of light crossed the sky as war chariots and flying boats thundered in. A magnificent aura intertwines as many proud elites gather. There are numerous followers behind me. Any outstanding talent walking the world can cause a stir across the land. The heirs of various top forces gather for the auction of the moonlit ancient jade. Most of them will appear. It's not just about simple competition. There's also an element of mutual learning and striving against each other. In the towering palace among the clouds, more than 10 prodigies stood side by side, looking down from above at the noisy auction house below. Everyone, the jade light in the middle of the path has collapsed. A scholarly man wearing a scholar's cap and adorned in a decorated robe slowly began to speak. This statement left the hall in dead silence. Among the talented ones there was a subtle sense of fear. The saint of the 9 heavens fell, like a meteor crashing into the deep sea. A great wave has risen in Kyushu. Upon hearing the news, their first reaction was one of absurdity. Unlike the outside world, which is blindly unaware of the Jiuxiao saint, they clearly understand the immense power of Yu Guanyin through the words of their elders. But he has already lost all spirit, died under the second attack, tragically crushed. The legendary Zhu Beiwang, how terrifying must his true strength be? Could it be that I can truly surpass my peers? The elegant man, also known as Huan Gu, a descendant of the Kong family. I'll get straight to the point, everyone. I have a suggestion. Let's form an alliance until the heavenly book opens. Directly encircle Zhu Liao. As soon as the voice fell, a sharp voice immediately echoed. I agree. The speaker's expression was resolute. It was Zhao Fan. All the proud ones looked at him with undisguised contempt in their eyes. Zhao Fan clenched his fists, trying hard to suppress the feeling of humiliation. Put on a calm facade. At this moment, a figure wearing a golden crown, a handsome man in the purple robe with blood-stained sleeves, let out a cold laugh. Are you insulting us? His gaze was disdainful, revealing a pride that came with the sound of rain. Joining forces? That's ridiculous. The others instinctively felt their palms sweat. This conspiracy is too clumsy. Let's not talk about the partnership for now. Your Kong family has a feud with Zhu Beiwang. Don't drag us into it. A red-haired girl with delicate features and blind eyes said softly, Kong Gongzi, aren't you ashamed to say that? The descendant of the Kong family showed no signs of anger. Instead, he downplayed it. Zhu Yi is just the lackey of the 5th demon lord, unless you don't enter the heavenly book. Otherwise, he didn't finish his sentence. But the expressions of all the outstanding individuals in the hall froze completely. Everyone is as silent as a cold cicada. 10 years ago, the heirs of major factions suffered heavy casualties. The dogs that survived are all crippled. This is the cold-blooded and ruthless 5th demon lord. And his lackey. Will we walk that bloody road again? Combining with Zhu Beiwang's style of conduct. There is no need to doubt this at all. The descendant of the Kong family breaks the silence. The smile holds deep meaning. It seems everyone doesn't want to enter the heavenly book anymore. All the proud figures turned pale. A look of anger appeared on the face. How could one possibly not go to the heavenly book? Jiuzhu's great figures, There were a few who did not participate in the Tian Shu competition. Everyone here is a shining star in their own right. I want to speak of the worship and respect people have grown accustomed to, who willingly becomes mediocre from now on, who can endure that almost hopeless sense of disparity. Zio Fan saw this. Blind heaven, a fire. I suggest we form an alliance. The heavenly book opens, and together they strike down Zhu Yi Liao. The heroes faced each other. The gaze gradually became resolute. We can join forces, although they don't want to admit it. But even if I am still unruly, everyone understands the gap in strength. There is almost no chance of winning against Zhu Beiwan. Once defeated, it's all about life and death. Alliance talk can join forces to eliminate the greatest threat. Why not enjoy it? Make the name simpler. Let's call him Zhu Meng. The descendant of the Kang family smiled faintly. Yang Guanfeng dropped a jade-colored seal. The heroes did not hesitate. Suddenly, true energy surged forth, engraving inscriptions under the seal. At that moment, they sensed a powerful presence approaching. The palace gate swings open. The cloaked man approached with a wave of his hand. Gaze at the center of the brow. Imposing aura. Behind me floated a cloud of iron. The six-headed divine sword forged from broken pillars. Sharp as a blade. He calmly surveyed his surroundings. Calmly, and wait for this group of ants. What are you discussing? Moment. The sound of falling leaves can be heard in the palace. The one who comes is Zhu Yuanqi's divine drama. Zhu Yuanchanging just made an appearance. He shows no concealment of his arrogance and disdain. Are you provoking me? The man with the golden crown stepped forward. The complexion looked bad. Zhu Yuanchanging remained noncommittal. Smilingly said, "Correct. This deity is humiliating you. So, what are your suggestions?" Ah, the golden crown man is a descendant of the prominent Tuoba family. How can one endure such provocation? His breath surged. Stop it. The descendant of the Kang family immediately learned about you. Looking at the fearless Zhu Yuanchanging. Divine drama. Do you also want to hunt down Zhu Yi with us? Zhu Yuanchanging frowned, although I am not sure what it is. But just those two words enraged him. Only heard of being in the company of wolves. Never heard of walking with dogs. The group of ants wanted to walk alongside the deity. First, ask yourself if you are worthy. Sled. Now, Zhang Tianjia was completely enraged. Even the usually patient Zio Fan had a dark expression. The epic drama has been completely portrayed. What does it mean to be arrogant and presumptuous? They don't take them seriously at all. Booming sound. Various scents intertwined together. A strong pressure surged towards Zhu Yuanchanging. You insignificant ants. Perhaps there is a misunderstanding about strength. As the sound faded away, 6 heroes compete for the sacred sword. A powerful aura swept in. It devoured several streams of true energy. Wu Bin summit. The descendant of the Kang family is filled with dread. An instant, all the heroes feel as if they have fallen into an ice cave. Unbelievable illness. His strength has actually reached this level. Deeply unsettling upon reflection. Waiting for the heavenly book to be opened. Shen Jun might be at the age of 22. Entering the master realm. Simply unimaginable. The desire to break free from the mundane. A sudden wave of intense helplessness surged within. If the younger generation is a 5-story building, and the ants are only on the 2nd layer, not even qualified for the 3rd level, the 4th level belongs to the Zhao King family, Junling, Long Sunji, Lin Yuan, and Zhu Beiwan. As for the true self, of course, at the very top. Zhu Yuanchengqing stood beside his deputy, an indescribable confidence and arrogance in his expression. The muscles on everyone's face twitched. The opportunity ignites like a flame. Zhu Yuanchengqing was indifferent to the anger of the weak. Calmly said, "I came specifically to see you all. I'm just telling you all." The younger generation fell silent for a moment. He had a look of melancholy, as if burdened by the chill of great heights. Young generation, the deity can cover the sky with one hand. After speaking, he turned around. The silhouette is very lonely and desolate. Stopped after taking a few steps. A bit of estrangement has set in. I never pursue false glory. So regarding the power of the true self, must keep secrets like a bottle, not to be shared. After speaking, he stepped forward, disappeared without a trace. In the palace, the heavens are numb and silent. The strength of Shenzhen bring them a strong impact. Faintly unable to breathe. As for keeping secrets tightly sealed, it's just that I want to go through them, convey to the people of the 9 regions. His terrifying strength, Zhu Yuanchengqing. Only one opportunity left to step into the master realm. It must be that Zhu Beiwan is at the peak of his glory. Zhu Yuanshenzhen. This is the unwillingness to be neglected by the world, no matter what. Upon entering the celestial book, let's join forces to eliminate Zhu Ilayo. The descendant of the Kong family faces complex emotions. He spoke in a low voice. The heavens clash amidst the swirling chaos. Chapter 87. You can push through the world. Achieving the pinnacle of success. Bang. A powerful smash. The shuttlecock landed within the baseline. Truly worthless. For 5 consecutive days, I have never lost. The 5th well doubles put down their rackets. Reaching out to grab a bowl of silver ear soup, Zhu Beiwing felt a bitterness at the tip of his throat. The expression is very helpless. Under the influence of neither party's magical power, he hasn't won a single game. Setting aside the technological gap, external factors have a significant impact. The swollen chest heaved violently, trembling slightly. How can I focus completely on playing basketball? The beautiful feet of the black 4 Nations brocade, pure as celestial dust, almost blinded Zhu Beiwang's eyes. Half of my soul has been taken away. How can we win this? No more fighting. Zhu Beiwang felt dejected. The 5th well's double slant chair fell over. Bai Maoming is like the stars. Lips held a barely perceptible smile. It's quite fun. Zhu Beiwang took a cup of silver ear soup and drank it. But my thoughts gradually drifted away. A message swept across the Jeju continent like a hurricane. Xuen Yuan family's divine steed, pinnacle of the 5th rank. One more breath away from entering the Grand Master realm. To be honest, Zhu Beiwang felt pressure for the first time. Must quickly improve cultivation. Otherwise, the gap in realms is significant. The bloodthirsty divine skill of biming is still hard to overcome disadvantages. Best route? Of course, I will ask the boss for some elixirs. Avoid hitting walls and getting scolded. Should I follow along or make a piece of clothing first? Bowtop is delighting. So beautiful that it is beyond compare. A flawless woman of unmatched noble temperament. Shouldn't we give the Kai Pao a try? Zhu Beiwang made up his mind. Then Gong Sheng spoke up. The Empress straightened her back and went out for a trip. 5th well nodded. Lazily asked, "When will you come back?" Zhu Beiwang's expression was slightly joyful. Is this reluctance to part with Yi? Noticing the change in his expression. 5th well bilingual dialogue. Jiang Ban Jai Dai Yu Shen. Just walked out of the Teichu Palace. A chubby cat suddenly darted to my feet. You should go too. Zhu Beiwing looked down at him. Meow meow. Fat Cat looked overjoyed. Let's go. Zhu Beiwang's sweaty hands. Walking forward on my own. Shan. Fat Cat jumped up. Claws tightly grasped Zhu Beiwang's arm. I want to hug you again. Zhu Beiwang narrowed his eyes. Lang Mo reminded him. You will transform into a beautiful girl in the future, right? Now, the chubby cat shyly stuck out its tongue. Zhu Beiwang sighed. This damn delicacy. Is this the weight? It's concerning. Now the silk pavilion has chosen a beautifully exquisite Sujin fabric, then headed straight back home, arranged for several skilled female workers. Several hours. A purple Sam has just been finished. With a heart full of anticipation, return to the imperial city. Zubelan. A chilling voice echoed. All the officials along the jade path entered the cold cicada. The princess wore a flowing white gown. The exquisite jade armor depicts weariness. The eyes were filled with hatred. Zhu Beiwang slowly turned around, directed towards Yoshino, casually laughed and said, "Are you wearing mourning clothes, Your Highness?" "Well." A single sentence plunged Yu Dao into silence. What a pompous and arrogant demeanor this is! Jai Minju felt a sharp pain in her heart. The desire suddenly flushed red. A cold voice said, "Kill my fiancée. We are sworn enemies." Zhu Beiwang frowned. "Be careful, Yi. That's not right. Yu Xingzi walks very peacefully. Liu." The chubby cat stared with its sparkling eyes. Jai Minju stared intensely at her enemy in front of her. "I wish I could crush him to pieces. Crush his bones. HMPH." Zhu Beiwang chuckled lightly at the fat cat. "No need to guess. The other party will definitely say something harsh next. This scene is not the first time. Indeed, the celestial tome has opened. I will tear you to pieces." Jiminju's gloomy expression faded away. In the gloomy tone there is a resolute sorrow. "Noble ministers of the court, my feelings are very complicated. I have heard rumors in the court. Your Highness the Princess is returning to Luoxia Palace, venturing into the trial grounds. It is said to be extremely dangerous. A narrow escape from death, even if you go all in and succeed. Can you really defeat Zhu Ilio with your power? Not holding onto expectations. Then you won't be disappointed. Wujia cultivates tigers. The tragic fate of the holy son of the nine heavens. Still vivid in my memory. Zhu Ilio. It is a rare and extraordinary monster. The ministers knew in their hearts. Among the younger generation, "Princess, Your Highness, we are no longer on the same level as this Lio. One step behind. Step by step falling behind. It's hard to catch up again." At that moment, boom boom, the air quivered with tension. An ancient war chariot, crushed through the heavens, entirely made of gold, carved with intricate patterns, pulled by 5 powerful ferocious beasts. This is the great front imperial city. How could I be disrespectful? An official saw this. Anger ceases immediately. Bark, bark, bark. Ripples rise above Miyatigahara. A wave of terrifying aura surged forth. Immediately after that, a phoenix-faced figure appeared. A tall monk with long eyebrows stood beside me. The atmosphere fell into an instant silence. Visit to the heavenly temple. The war chariot emitted an aged voice. A blurry-faced old man with golden hair slowly walked out. Boom! Like a thunderclap echoing through the heavens. This moment, countless hearts surged with turmoil. The expression was shocked to the extreme. It turns out to be the mysterious temple of heaven. No wonder they dared to park their war chariots in the imperial city. In the eyes of the divine temple, they seek to transcend life and death, to forge the path ahead What is a worldly dynasty worth? Let's talk about the fourth emperor of the Dakian dynasty, still an inner disciple of the heavenly god temple. In the Phoenix year, Wu Zhao's expression was tense, slightly nervous. Try to remain calm and gentle. May I ask what brings you here? Old Yu's forehead was full of wrinkles. Suddenly, a blood child appeared. Jana, the sky split open. A void gate appeared. The hero wanders through the corridor. A bright full moon hangs high. The stars fill the sky, reflecting the dust. Zhu Beiwen Shi arrived. This truly is a night of guarding the monsters under the bright moon, plucking the stars. I don't know how. He suddenly realized. The gaze swept across the crowd, thus directly locking themselves in. Lao Yu stands high above, gazing at the handsome man. Calm path. Zugonzi. Interested in joining the heavenly temple. Become a part of the sequence. HMPH. The whole venue fell silent. Silent as a haunting wooden creak. Stunned and speechless. Speak the truth on the spot. The shock in the hearts of the ministers was indescribable. The expression reached a terrifying extreme. They even doubted themselves. There was a misunderstanding. How is this possible? What is a sequence? That was from several sequence disciples. Select the most outstanding one, appointing the next temple master. Who is the current master of the heavenly temple? Over 100 years ago, Dugu Wudi, the invincible force sweeping across the world, the rumored half-immortal supreme. In other words, Zhu Liao has the opportunity to become the next master of the heavenly temple. Sages of the past and present, forbidden techniques, secret method to reach the heavens, various cultivation resources. There is also an overwhelming presence surrounding the world. The entire imperial city. Countless people are so jealous that their faces are contorted with rage, almost choking in despair. Why him? Zugonzi, you have the power to push through the world, achieving the pinnacle of success. Lao Yu smiled warmly. The tone is very sincere. He pointed at the gate of void. Step inside. You are the sequential disciple of the heavenly god temple. Identity is more important than the so-called holy son of the Tao lineage. I don't know how high it goes. The waters of Jeju Pool have frozen. Flowers and grass are covered in frost. The icy chill envelops the palace. A gathering of friends. His expression was extremely indifferent. 10 jade papers clenched together. Chapter 88. I take a sip. It should be fine, right? On the jade path. Everyone should be more shocked. So shocking again. Even the brain went completely blank. Completely unable to think. The celestial temple only recognizes sequential disciples, no less than a meteor shower, stirring up immense waves on a calm surface. From this point on, Zhu Eliao's background will overshadow his peers. In the future, there may even be a chance to take control of the Hall of the Gods. In the year of the Phoenix, Wu Zhao's face was filled with anger. As the thunderbolt descends, her phoenix-like eyes seemed to emit flames. Even he didn't expect it. Zhu Yi will be favored by the Celestial Hall, can be listed as a sequence. It means in the eyes of the Celestial Temple. This chat excels in all aspects. At the pinnacle of the younger generation's pyramid. That is the force closest to transcendence in the 9 provinces. The ministers struggled to calm their emotions. A gaze of extreme intensity fell upon the luxurious white robe. From today onward, this man soars to great heights. Unstoppable. No one can stop his powerful rise anymore. Jin Minju's jade armor was as dark as water. The gaze was more like venom in emerald. He experienced extreme pleasure for the first time in his life. This feeling sweeps through my limbs, chilling me to the bone. The suburbs are all in turmoil. This chat becomes a sequence. He will lose the chance for revenge. Euoxia Palace also does not allow him to seek revenge. He witnessed the green leaves climbing to the peak of the mountain, day and night enduring the pain that cuts to the bone. Glad, at this moment, a gentle voice broke the long silence. Lao Yu's gaze was piercing. Sugonze, have you made up your mind? The entire venue fell silent. This still needs to be considered. Even a normal person would change their affiliations. The fifth demon lord is notorious. As his lackey, it's like standing on the edge of a cliff, constantly facing the revenge of enemies. The temple of the gods has existed for at least 20,000 years, always revered and worshipped by the world. The disciples walk in the world. Each major path is divided into honored guests. Let's talk about strength. No matter how terrifying the power of the fifth demon lord is, but in the end he remains alone. He Tian Shandian. No one knows how many old monsters are inside. That is all part of the later stages managed by the sequential disciples. The dust has settled. Zhu Yilao's choice will not have any surprises. His identity became unattainable from that point on. Zhu Beiwang's expression was calm and unperturbed, deeply shaken inside. The feeling of being recognized is quite satisfying. After all, this is the most transcendent force in the 9 provinces. It is rumored that the half-stepped supreme cannot descend without the endless technique. Also possesses countless cultivation resources. But let me leave, boss. I really can't do it. In the midst of complete silence, the white-robed figure smiled gently. The tone is light and carefree. Thank you for your kindness. I am deeply grateful. I am not interested in joining the temple of the gods. A gentle voice fell. The air was almost frozen. Lao Yu looked utterly incredulous. It seems I never thought this journey would fail, and encountered countless people with blank expressions. It felt like hearing the most absurd and bizarre thing in the world. He refused. This chat was unexpectedly declined. This is beyond reach. I heard of a sight rarely seen throughout the ages. Simply an ignorant and fearless madman. Are you sure? The heavenly temple never invites a second time. Lao Yu spoke again. The voice gradually became indifferent. Under the intense pressure, Zhu Beiwing gently wiped his sweaty palms. Not a word was spoken. Lao Yu gazed at him for a few moments, with a hint of regret in his expression. Kid, you will regret it in the future. HMPH. The gate of void has closed. The bright moon and stars vanished in an instant. He stepped onto the war chariot. Amid the rumbling sound, hidden in the sky, suddenly, he is bad. A sky full of purple light envelops. A chilling breath swept through. The ancient war chariot collapsed into 2 pieces. Old Yu's expression was filled with anger. The intertwining of blood and law. He fell silent for a moment, transform into a startled swan and flee far away. The imperial city has regained its tranquility. Countless rays of twilight gathered on the figure in white robes. Schadenfreude. There is mockery, and also grateful, the opportunity that the world's elites dream of. Zhu Yi chatted but discarded it like a green thread. He may not know what he has missed. The fifth demon can protect you for a time. The heavenly temple can protect you for a lifetime. This is a turning point that will change a lifetime. Jin Minju's heart was originally plunged into the abyss. Once again it rises up. As character and integrity, he did not hide the sarcasm in his voice. Then summoned King Lian to leave. Zhu Beiwang had a blank expression. Calm and composed, he headed towards Statue Palace while petting the cat. encounter countless people gazing at this silhouette, the complexity that words cannot express. How to say it? Although this chat made a foolish decision, but it also reflects from the side. What is the status of this conversation among the younger generation? The celestial temple personally visited. How many times has it happened over the past thousands of years? This scene is enough to go down in history. This matter will spread across the entire Jeju continent like a plague. Everyone will be shocked and horrified by it. Jeju Pool. I am very surprised. Daiwu Jinshuang's expression was strange, gazing intently at Zhu Beiwen. Indeed, it was beyond his expectations. Anyone would know what choice to make. Zhu Beiwen secretly took away this jailer, said with strength and conviction, "I will never betray the Empress." The wind blows majestically. The haze drifts. The gentle frost on Wu Jinshuang's face settled in her eyes. The tone became gentle for the first time. "Is it a pity?" Zhu Beiwen did not hesitate. "What is the heavenly god temple? I vow to follow the Empress to the death. HMPH. Fifth Jinshuang raised an eyebrow. Jiao Heng said, "You almost got drowned by me." Finished speaking, walking with a leisurely and graceful pace. Leaning against the hanging chair, Zhu Beiwen felt a chill beneath him. This is indeed the boss's style. He quickly took out the kipao from the storage space. The filial piety of offering treasures. "I made a complete outfit for the Empress. The Empress will definitely like it." Daiwu Jinshuang feels bored. Clean the pig's lips. It is tainted by someone else's negativity. Clean it up. A mysterious spring hangs in mid-air. The kipao was swept into the spring water. The disappearance of the spirit spring. The kipao looks as if it hasn't been soaked in water. The purple figure vanished. Very particular indeed. Zhu Beiwen let out a complaint. Thinking about it again. What treasure should we ask for next? After a moment, he stared intently ahead. Dazed gaze. The depths of the eyes are filled with a rich golden hue. So beautiful. The purple chinksam accentuates the curves of the chest. The back is lifted. The high fork revealed the long, graceful brow legs, paired perfectly with skin-toned stockings, perfectly embodies noble hesitation. The fairy's grace is vividly displayed, as if coated with the dust of past times. Desire to speak but hold back. Captivating. Zhu Beiwen looked at the food. Fifth Jinshuang raised her eyes. The corners of the eyes drew a stunning arc. I have to admit, he fell in love with the outfit the moment he put it on. Meeting Zhu Beiwen's gaze, he slightly raised his chin with a hint of pride. Spoke in a cold voice. "Take another look. I will gouge out your eyes." Zhu Beiwen said happily. Understood. The leader lay lazily in the hanging chair, straight legs crossed. The posture is very comfortable. The Chingsam originally easily reveals spring's beauty. But the follower mouse thought too much. This kind of state of being for the leader. What do you want him to see? What can we only see? For example, the thigh above the slit. For example, a body hook. It is already filled with heavy mist. Zhu Beiwen took a glance. The man's eyes were pierced with pain. He swallowed. "Duobu Shengqian Zio Sheng Wen. Nang. Are you tired? The cup will give your feet a rub." Dai Wu Jin Shuang. The gaze was profound. The tone is cold. "Ready?" Zhu Beiwen slowly reached out to touch the arch of his foot. Despite wearing stockings, but the toes of the lovely full body are too sparkling. Still able to see clearly. Truly as if carved from beautiful jade. A sudden thought arose in his mind. A kiss is fine, right? The worst consequence is broken bones. The body fell apart. I just acted out what loyalty means. One should be drunk, but not to death, testing the boundaries of life and death. He took a deep breath, pressing his lips against the jade-like foot. Chapter 89. Cultivation. Alhong bosses fine. Jiashu pond. A gentle breeze caresses the face. Zhu Beiweng held the jade foot. Only by lies bright red toes. Press your lips against it. It's not just a light touch of water, but firmly held on without letting go. The fragrance lingers in the air, that delicate and smooth texture, directly into the depths of the soul. Moment. The four seasons of heaven and earth have entered an instant. The screen abruptly stops. Zhu Beiweng felt dizzy. He experienced it for the first time, the feeling of a sudden heartbeat. There was even a slight mirage-like movement. And in the hanging chair sat the fifth Jin Shuang. Her face was as cold and beautiful as a jade sculpture. First signs of intense emotional fluctuations. The peculiar taste of arching feet, sweeping over the entire body. He felt it for the first time. Heartbeat quickens. "I'm fine." Zhu Beiwen was momentarily stunned. I surprisingly emerged unscathed. Does that mean? Can go further? He slightly raised his head. Of course, both heads were raised, carefully peeking at the boss's expression. In an instant, the cold, sharp edge slanted downward. A realm of the world was completely frozen. HMPH. The jade-like feet stepped on the face. Zhu Beiwang's entire being, like a kite with a broken string, hurtled out, turned into a black dot. Disappearing into the horizon, the fifth Jin Shuang's eyes were filled with coldness. The tone was eerie, reckless, repeatedly and again. Truly believed, "I won't drown you. This time I will not go easy." As the words fell, the chilling power of the shifting gaze, gradually fading away, his exquisite appearance, a thin red cloud appeared, like the stunning sunset glow of dusk. The plump cat with 10 faces. Open those lively eyes like black buttons. Sigh. This big bad guy is shy. Get lost. Fifth Jin Shuang cold red. Meow. The chubby cat looked innocent. In the blink of an eye. Find a quiet corner. The wall has been torn down. Fifth Jin Shuang's gaze was dazed, staring at his own feet. The faint traces are still there. He struggled to calm his turbulent emotions, determined to become a sharp arrow. Time slowly flows by. A slight shimmer of difference flashed in Jin Shuang's eyes. "Why didn't you come back all excited? Isn't it time to flatter them quickly?" Seeking forgiveness. At this moment, a layer unexpectedly surfaced in his heart. An indescribable sense of loss. What does the thorn sense? He trembled with anger. The figure vanished without a trace. Extraordinary appearance path. Like a snow-white robe, the figure fades into loneliness and desolation. He endured the pain of his bones breaking, stumbling forward toward the distance. Stop. The sky before me split open. Dai Wu Jin Shuang changed back into a luxurious silk dress, standing in the void, coldly looking down at him. Zhu Beiweng looked on as if he saw nothing. "Walk with your head down. Why leave Beijing?" Fifth Jin Shuang questioned. Zhu Beiweng swallowed the bitterness in his throat. Silence fell for half a breath. The sound is desolate. The cup must wander the 4 seas. From then on I wandered the world. The anger in Jin Shuang's eyes was almost palpable. The white robe swept across. "Nian." Zhu Beiweng looked pained. Spoke in a hoarse voice. "The cup has always made the Empress angry. The cup is not worthy of serving the Empress." Stopped for a few seconds. He continued walking forward. "I'm leaving. I originally wanted to say that the cup was returned. This retreat, It's a lifetime. It's a bit too awkward. It's hard to put into words. Fifth Jin Shuang glanced, saw through his clumsy tricks. The expression showed no emotional fluctuation. Take another step forward. I have castrated you. The true energy vortex surged forth, condensed into a blood-red dagger. Zhu Beiwang felt a chill beneath him. Absolutely dare not move forward. He said hesitantly, "Can the Empress forgive the cup's offense?" Dai Wu Jin Shuing stared at him intently, suddenly asked, "You have betrayed me. Are you secretly planning to run to the Temple of the Gods?" Zhu Beiwang firmly vetoed. The cup doesn't even know where the door to the divine temple opens. Ziquan Fian, Daiwu Jinshuang had a blank expression. Lan Len Dao, for now I forgive you. Roll back to the Teichu Palace. After speaking, the figure vanished into the horizon. A cloud floats gently down. Understood. Zhu Beiwang sighed heavily. He immediately stepped onto the clouds. The deputy stands tall. The unspoken comfort of posture. Just endure a beating. It's simply too straightforward. It's late at night. The stars scatter across the Jeju pond. A mysterious veil was draped over the pond's surface. The smoke rises slowly. A figure in a white robe is focused on grilling lamb skewers. With a serious expression, Fifth Jin Shuang Zio Min took a bite of ice cream. This taste is not bad. It was still his favorite sweetness. "Why did you just insult me?" A lazy voice slipped from her red lips. Zhu Beiwang restrained his movements, put on a calm and composed demeanor. "Nine Yan, this is actually a ritual recorded in ancient texts. Represents the cup's loyalty and respect towards the Empress." Dai Wu Jin Shuang looked coldly, unrelentingly expose. What etiquette is light-footed? Zhu Beiwen was left speechless. I can only say nonsense. Probably the barbarians. HMPH. Dai Wu Jin Shuang let out a cold laugh. Then a very stern warning. No second time. Otherwise I won't be able to control myself. In a fit of rage I could just kill you. Zhu Beiwan nodded sincerely. Next time it will happen again. But every time I walk on a tightrope. Extremely dangerous. Step outside on your own now. Without any humility, I would say, a spring dream that can be called the dream of millions of girls. But who can compare to the boss even 1 in 10 million? I see all beings as grass and trees. Only you are the green mountains. But take it one step at a time. Dai Wu Jinshuang examined him, as if peering into his innermost thoughts. But soon I was drawn in by the enticing aroma. The fat cat stared longingly at the grill, salivating at the thought. "Are you ready?" The voice from the hanging chair urged them on. Zhu Beiweng quickly sprinkled cumin powder, seasoning salt, chicken essence. Zio Kong, wait a moment. Placed the skewers on the jade plate. Mayo Fei Cat Pala runs errands. Eager to try. A single sentence struck his young heart hard. Go away. Not your share. Zhu Beiwing kicked him away coldly. Respect to the boss. Fifth Jishuang took it. She elegantly took a bite, though his lips bore no smile, relaxed brows. Yet it can clearly reveal the joy within the heart. "How are you?" Zhu Beiwing asked. Di Jinshuang slightly raised her chin. Usually, HMPH. Saying one thing while meaning another again. The follower can only echo. That cup is working hard. That cat's tragic fate. Lying on the ground, acting cute. No one pays attention. Fifth Jin shooing through the clean stick to Fat Cat. Fat Cat Kshuimren wanted to cry. Tasting it made me even sadder. Why does Meow Meow have no luck with food? Why aren't you eating? Dai Wu Jin Shuing resents Zhu Bei Wan. Zhu Beiwing shook his head, let out a bitter laugh. Nian Yan, how can a cup still have the face to eat? Jiu Tian Jiao's cultivation advanced by leaps and bounds. The cup still lingers without moving forward. I feel ashamed. Fifth Jin Shuang's gaze was piercing. Ignoring his eager gaze, taste the delicacies with restraint. Zhu Beiwang's handsome face showed great unwillingness. Sighing in despair, others have deep ties to their hometown. Cultivation resources piled up like mountains. The cup is nothing special. There's no need to be discouraged. In this world, there is always a small group of people born with a golden key. The things you desire are within easy reach. The conversation was abruptly interrupted. Stop pretending. Stove. Chapter 90. Perhaps the opportunity has arrived. Stove. An impatient tone came through. A small silver pot with a curved spout appeared on the ground. Amidst the swirling white mist, spit out a lychee-sized ball, crimson and translucent pills. A strong aroma of medicine spread out. Nian Yan, how could I possibly do that? Zhu Beiwing said politely. Fifth Jin Shuang's cold words. Then take it back. Don't. Zhu Beiwing hurriedly placed the Dan Wan into the storage room. Then I stared eagerly at the boss. Fifth Jin Shuang leisurely eats skewers of meat. Casually said, this Dan Wan is the supreme Feng Gu Dan. As for the effect, let this worthless person step into the fifth rank. It's still not a problem. What? Zhu Beiwing was shocked. Such defiance against the heavens. Daiwu Jinshuang lightly pursed her red lips, waved a finger. Come here. The attendant immediately stepped closer. The fifth Jin Shuang brightens this face. There is no contention in my heart, only a malicious joy in the sound. Make you kneel and lick my feet. Kick you to death. He suddenly lifted his jade foot, wrapped in black silk. Linglong's little feet ground on Zhu Beiwang's face. Boo! The bank of the pond trembled violently. The two fell into the ground in an instant. Zhu Beiwang fell into darkness. The air is filled with a faint fragrance. Thus, please make sure to put in more effort. Always retaliating against me like this. Not sure how much time has passed. Zhu Beiwang opened his eyes. Moment. His pupils dilated sharply. I witnessed an unbelievable scene. It's simply a tall tale. Vast and boundless space, faintly divided into 5 areas. A piece of land seems to be made of gold, surrounded by golden light. The sound of metal clashing is incessant. Next is the azure ocean. The waves rise and fall. The waves are surging. Lush ancient forest, the vast and majestic Los Plateau, and the hot magma erupts from the volcano's crater. Perfectly aligned with the 5 elements, wood, fire, earth, metal, water, too far from the palace underground. The silent shadows conceal this world. It was truly shocking. Roll over here. Fifth well Frost, peeing on the dumb-daub leg. He calmly strides through the sea of magma. Desire to be untarnished by the dust of the world. Zhu Beiwang was surrounded by purple light. Take care of him with utmost attention. Not burned by the fierce flames. Bert, an angry sneer, resounding in the magma. A crimson figure appeared beside Wu Xuan. This is a little person made entirely of flames. Only 2 feet tall, without facial features. Limbs continuously emerged from the lava. Zhu Beiwang's expression was one of shock. Yeu Dao, fire spirit, Wu Zhaizhong. A flame continues to burn. It might give birth to fire spirits. The fire essence belongs to the genius treasures of the earth. Devouring it can enhance the dancer's true energy. Carrying fire attributes, Zhu Beiwing had only heard about it. This is our first meeting, and this fire spirit gained intelligence. Fifth Will Frost opposes him, to say it lightly, 100,000 years, ignoring the pleas of the fire spirit. A surge of true energy shattered his mind. He lightly seized a quick step, tilted up his chin with self-satisfaction. Follow me closely. Not 100 times stronger than any heavenly palace. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. Zhu Beiwang blinked. A small joy surged from deep within. This is the fear of a follower changing their heart, deliberately showing off, I have to say, although still wearing a cold and noble expression. But at this moment, it's very cute. Go away. Breath surged forward. Zhu Beiwang soared into the sky. Open your eyes. It appeared in the palace where one frequently practiced. He sat down and rested, without a moment's hesitation. Swallow the phoenix bone pill and fire essence. In an instant, the positive and pure source of fire energy, ravaging within the body. The meridian theory is rapidly evolving. Direct expansion of the Kaisi. The palace is shrouded in flames. Burning and tempering. Pain penetrates to the bone marrow. Cultivating without the passage of time. A month has passed in the blink of an eye. Meow. A fat cat is lying on the curtain, in the morning court, displaying fierce claws and teeth. The figure in the white robe slowly rose. A handsome face with a smile. Ethereal and extraordinary temperament. Whoop in lower realm. Blood flows within the body like rivers rushing, even if he doesn't use the beaming bloodthirsty technique now. Can also crush the likes of Jai Ninyu. 1,000 words. Only one sentence. Thus, I want to mesmerize you. No one can stop me. Meow meow. The fat cat's eyes turned red with urgency. Zhu Beiwang. Say. The fat cat's paw grabbed the small box. Throw it to him. Well, the box unfolds. Inside are individual red pills arranged neatly. At least they are all above the ground level. The fat cat's paw is more beautiful than flowers. Made a gesture as if to silence someone. Zhu Beiwang in shock. The claws rubbed back and forth on the windowsill. Zhu Beiwang understood. Usually doing chores like sweeping and washing dishes, which are dirty and tiring tasks, the boss bestowed this upon him. Isn't this your secret stash? You need to give me. Zhu Beiwang remained calm and composed. Put the box into the crescent moon ring. The fat cat is panting. The cat keeps meowing non-stop. Zhu Beiwang understood again. Do you want to eat barbecue? Fat cat nodded. He swore. What the bad guy loves to eat the most. It has turned from braised pork into lamb skewers. Meow Meow is also dying to eat. Zhu Beiwang had no reason to refuse. Is there a better deal in the world than this? You plump fellow. Quite adorable. No problem. He smiled brightly. The fat cat seemed to have completed a new task. Excitedly spinning in circles on the windowsill, Zhu Beiwang was just about to leave the palace. The footsteps suddenly stopped. He felt something. Immediately take out a rusty key from the storage realm. At this moment, the key was shrouded in grey mist. A strangely shaped little beast is perched inside. Zhu Beiwang observed for a moment. Squinting his eyes, this key originally belonged to the destined child, Zhao Zhuixu, plundered in the enchanted prison. There has been no movement all along. Now, the sudden change. Does it mean there is a chance? Zhu Beiwang had a strong premonition. This opportunity is definitely not small. The more ordinary something is, can be placed on the Son of Destiny. Then it might not be easy. Do you want to go rob the fox? Zhu Beiwang paced back and forth. Lost in thought? Living a life of ease has become a habit. I really don't want to venture out any more. After all, I prepare delicious food for the boss every day, accompanying the boss to play basketball and chess. Where the gaze reaches, every move of the boss captivates his soul. Just leave for a little while. It's hard to let go. Don't miss the opportunity to speak up. What if it's a treasure? In fact, Zhu Beiwang knew very well in his heart. The boss may be seeking transcendence to become an immortal with his realm, unaware of when the shackles will be broken. Once ascended, what should I do then? Agreed to be a subordinate for a lifetime. 1 day less, 1 hour less. Not even a second shorter will do, even if the heavens are filled with treasures. He must closely follow. Opportunities must not be missed. Perhaps this is the key to a significant improvement. Silent, if you wave and gather, it actually formed a blurred map. Zhu Beiwen glanced. The expression froze. Somewhat speechless. Feeling conflicted with myself. Isn't this map Blind Mountain? The story begins outside the capital. It's only a few steps away. Let's go. Making barbecue for the Empress. Zhu Beiwen waved at the chubby cat. Mel, Fat Cat was furious. Zhu Beiwen corrected the wording. I will grill barbecue for my beautiful girl at home. Fat Cat acts shy. Emit a clumsy nasal sound. Chapter 91. Obtained. The two energies converge. Fat Cat is lying down, chewing on a wing, making a crunching sound. Mole licked the wooden stick clean. There's no hope. Zhu Beiwen let out a scoff. Other people's cats are shy and gentle, teasing you for being greedy. Where to go? Dai Wu Jin Shuang examined him. The voice grew a bit colder. Zhu Beiwang lowered his head, whispering, I went to Blind Mountain in search of opportunities. Are you already unable to do without your followers? Wu Jinshuang crossed her legs. Her gaze was tinged with frost. Roll away. Zhu Beiwang hesitated for a moment, shamelessly said, Does the Empress have a treasure of a disguised mask? He decided to make a fresh start. After all, I belong to the top tier of Jeju. The situation is rather constraining. There must be more than one. If it's not easy to disguise, absolutely will be besieged by the alliance. For the heist, the difficulties faced by Hu Tianxi. No, Fifth Jin Shuang's cold words. I caught a glimpse of the disappointment in Zhu Beiwang's eyes. He let out a soft hum. Refining materials levitate. The breath of the law surged. In a swirling vortex of floating warmth, a human skin mask was sent out. Zhu Beiwang was astonished. This is ready, as thin as a cicada's wing. The fragrance of the eldest sister lingers above. He injected it into the steam bag. In the blink of an eye, he became a cultured gentleman. Ding Shuang glanced a few times. Jing Jai Wanren's brows slightly relaxed. Not handsome enough. Zhu Beiwang felt overjoyed. Blind Ellie talks. Does the lady think the cup is very handsome? Ding Jinshuang lifted her chin, peeing on him. You are very proud. No. Zhu Beiwen shook his head, sighing. There's nothing to be proud of. The cup just happened to align with the aesthetic of Jeju. Fate plays tricks on people. Now, the fat cat is holding a skewer of meat. Made a vomiting gesture. Fifth Jin Shuang's phoenix eyes are curved. Crimson lips part gently. When will you come back? I'm waiting for you to talk about the hot pot. How many days at most? Zhu Beiwang finished speaking. Could not wait to leave. Leave early and come back early. Hold on. A cold voice came from behind, belonging to Dai Wu Jinshuang. He got up from the swing chair in a myriad of ways, then leisurely and comfortably raised her delicate foot. taking advantage of Zhu Beiwang turning his head. A kick landed on his face. "Let you see the palace tomorrow. Follow the direction indicated on the map." Zhu Beiwang weaves through the blind mountain. He deliberately used the Beiming shrine. The true energy trapped inside the body. Only the literary tools are exposed. Squeeze the corpse for a whole day and night. If the brilliance of the Guangmang family is dazzling, roar in the deep mountains. Rise and fall. A place like a heavenly blade. In the split abyss, a wisp of mist rises from the rain. Beneath the ancient tree, a woman in a snow-white feather robe stood there, embroidered lotus and peony. A faint glow spreads outside. He raised his gaze towards the newcomer, the stunningly beautiful and aloof Yu family, without any emotional fluctuations. Zhu Beiwang casually found a spot. Remain calm and composed on the surface. There are subtle surprises deep within the eyes. 97 floors. The brilliance of this woman's aura. A full 97 floors. Heaven rewards those who are diligent. Finally, I've encountered the destined girl. Very good. This trip was worthwhile. Even if we didn't have the chance to meet. Can also plunder this woman's treasures. The two were 100 zhang apart. Everyone remains silent. Both sides are completely clueless about the purpose. Can only wait quietly. The mountain peaks slowly rise. Bird song and whispers as dusk approaches. The roar of a fierce beast echoed from the horizon. A bull as strong as a black cow, covered entirely in scales. The giant eagle soars through the azure sky. A man in a grey robe stood on the back of the sculpture, with a resolute expression. Calm gaze. Zhu Beiwang maintained a calm and composed demeanor. My heart is in turmoil. Hard to be at peace. Goodness, how long has it been? Now even the vehicle is ready. It seems that Yi Zhenbao's Shu has become wealthy again. Truly an indestructible cockroach. Not only did he not lose his life on Wolf Tooth Mountain, perhaps they will gain a great opportunity. Cheng Daiyu walks on the wind. This appearance has a certain foreign charm. If I hadn't taken the key from Zhao Zhuxu. What is the current situation? 3 individuals with unique charisma gather together, unlocking the golden treasure. Foo-foo, the crisp sound of the eagle's cry. The night slowly descends. At a glance, he saw the stunningly beautiful woman. In the summer banquet. "May I ask for your name, miss?" She stepped forward and smiled faintly. The wind rustles the long robe. Gas state apparent. Zhu Beiwang raised his eyebrows. "Okay. Now I know I need to change my name." The girl with expressive eyes and eyebrows coldly uttered 3 words. Zhao Qingju, night sky poetry, couldn't help but praise. A person is as their name suggests. The girl was stunning like the morning glow, with beauty that could make fish sink and birds fall. A beauty that could topple nations and cities. Fate brought us together. To meet Miss Zhao. I am fortunate in this life. She appeared unfazed. Up the gaze was filled with deep admiration. Zhu Beiwang showed no expression on his face, yet secretly laughed to oneself. You really are something. You even shake others' measuring sticks in the sacred place. The identity of the saintess is still unknown. Just go up and lick wildly. Zhao Qingju silently set it aside. Like an insurmountable iceberg, Yi Tian also understands the principle of moderation. Cannot make Miss Zhao hate beauty. She swallowed her sigh. A deep sense of inferiority surged from within. The aura of the morning girl revealed to the outside, surpassing the 6th rank. This must be a true disciple of a major power. Standing side by side with her, it's hard not to feel a sense of defeat. Yi Tian calms his emotions. looking at the departing elegant young man. Seventh rank scholar. He, just okay. Her eyes held a serene smile. Make a rude remark. I wonder who you are. Zhu Beiwen remained calm and composed. Smilingly replied, Liu Donphan, this treasure hunting mouse. The cultivation level is progressing quickly. Unknowingly, I've reached the peak of the seventh rank. Liuxian, nice to meet you. Yi Tian spoke cheerfully. Suddenly, there was a desire to befriend the other person. Although my talent and cultivation are far inferior to my own, but looking at the noble demeanor, probably the son of a noble or powerful family, Zhu Beiwen revealed a reserved yet polite smile. But inside I was sneering. Pleased to meet you. You are quite lucky. Stop talking nonsense. Take out the key. Zhao Qingju's voice was as cold as a blade. The meaning is piercing. One in. Yi Tian did not hesitate. Took out an ancient key from the Kan bag. Of the three keys converge in brilliance. Severe fluctuations in the void. A bronze door adorned with intricate dragon engravings. Three keyholes of the portal. The sound of ancient rites and music. A sound came from the portal. Many scenes flashed by. Chada Jian, Zhao Qingju, and Yi Tianxin have different thoughts. Dark voice of caution. Yet Zhu Beiwen remained calm and carefree. Deep down, I was utterly shocked. The Kaiyuan Tower has changed. Radiance soars. 99 layers of light. Both of them are at the 99th level of cultivation. It's simply unimaginable. What a tremendous opportunity this is. At that moment, rummel rummel, three keys flew into the portal. The bronze door shattered and fell into the abyss. Form a resplendent palace. The abyss engulfed in thick fog. Yi Tian closely followed. Zhu Beiwen squinted his eyes. Transformed into a divine red and vanished. The abyss mist gradually evaporates. The forest has regained its tranquility. Chapter 92. Rummel Rummel. Yuxi County City. Temple collapse. The whole court was shaken. He was shouting. A gray-red palace. Surrounding gray mist and dark clouds. The vast breadth seems to come from the barren valley. A wave of fluctuations appeared. The three people landed in a decayed and desolate round courtyard, where the gaze reaches. There is a lake as emerald as jade, formed entirely from the gathering of spiritual energy. Zhao Qingju appeared proud. After seeing the vast and boundless palace, spoke coldly. Each relies on their own abilities. As soon as the words fell, Zhu Beiwen stepped forward calmly and confidently. Calmly said, I humbly wish to follow Miss Kao. Just kidding. Just relying on this unlucky physique. Going solo, not a single hair to catch. Perhaps it will break here. Sorry, I can't assist with that. The night sky flickered with subtle light. Spoke with utmost seriousness. I also suggest that the three of us travel together. Mutual support. His idea is very simple. It's nice to enjoy the shade under a big tree. You are here, Miss Zhao, managing unknown risks. Raise it a bit more. Zhao King's gaze was icy, slowly sweeping the gun towards the two. The cold voice said, caught off guard. Retro residence. As the words fell, the snow-white rain drifts. He headed deeper into the palace. Morning Burl. Danger lurks ahead. Be careful. A concerned voice came from behind. What do you think you are? Kao Qingju turned around and gave him a cold glare. Yi Tian only felt a crow flying by in front of him. Her face turned bright red. I can only smile gently at Zhu Beiwen. This eased the awkwardness of the plum rain season. He is completely indifferent inside. He emitted several beams of light. easily slay the recent vengeful spirit. Etan held a long sword. As the sword light dances, join the babel, said. Zhu Beiwen slowly uttered a word. A magnificent righteousness sweeps forth, condensed into a seal. The morning resentment of the spirit swarm descends. Half a stick of incense time, the vengeful spirits in the tomb have nearly vanished. Zhao Qingju's face was cold as ice. There was a hint of disappointment deep in the eyes. It seems he made a mistake with his eye-pushing technique. There are no treasures here. Shu Ran, an ancient, decayed aura struck me head-on, accompanied by a dazzling flash of golden light. The tomb space becomes blurred. The scene suddenly changes. 3 people appeared in the empty palace. A large, grand table was set up in the hall. Drawn. The talismans are everywhere. Statues of various celestial deities and sages stand upright. All the Taoist statues are dressed in Bagua robes. Wearing a lotus crown, Yu Bingfu Chen, it feels like a grand celebration is taking place. When, ding din din, all of a sudden, inside the palace, the sound of chanting echoes melodiously. Drums resound in unison. Moment, the 3 of them simultaneously displayed expressions of shock. They saw the flat pillar beside the incense table. Kai Tai Shang Leijun, Buo Zuo Mayan Chang. It turns out to be the great Xia dynasty. Over 1,000 years, the internal contradictions of the great Xia dynasty have accumulated to a certain extent. Directly collapse and fall apart. Several families vie for power and supremacy, establishing the front line. The great Xia dynasty worshipped Taoism. It seems like this palace is likely the imperial palace of the great Xia. I don't know how I ended up at Mang Mountain. However, the 3 of them momentarily ignored the shrine, talismans, and other treasures. Burning gaze looked towards the center of the incense table. A golden and silver imperial seal is surrounded by a divine light. Its diameter is 4 inches. Last time, the true dragon. A tremendous pressure enveloped the grand hall. Far apart, they could still clearly see the 8 insect bird rotors. Lifespan is determined by heaven. Jai Shu Yang Chang. Rummel rummel. Like a bolt from the blue. The 3 of them felt a tingling sensation on their scalps. Directly stiffened in place. They looked extremely horrified. Their eyes were filled with unrestrained joy. One of the 10 great artifacts of the 9 provinces. Imperial seal of the state. The fall of the great Xia. The jade seal has vanished without a trace. To this day there is no trace. The great powers of the 9 provinces sighed in lament. All emperors of past dynasties regarded this joy as a blessing. There is no joy in ascending to power without this. Is remembered as the whiteboard emperor. Emperor Taizu was looked down upon by the world at that time. The imperial seal of heaven is a divine artifact that surpasses the treasures of the holy street. There are only 10 families in Jeju. I didn't expect that. He actually appeared here. Zhu Beiwen was the first to come back to his senses. The eyes narrowed slightly. The breath locks onto Zhao Qingju. At this moment, Liuxian, let's join forces. A hoarse voice echoed in my ear. Over there, Yitan's lips moved gently. Surprisingly, they even mastered the ability to communicate over distance. United forces. Zhu Beiwen's expression. There is a hint of intrigue. Just a moment ago, he looked like a puppy dog, turning around just to scheme against someone. The cunning treasure-seeking mouse. Yitan lowered his head, maintained a normal range of facial expressions. He is devoted to the imperial seal of state. Victory is assured. He wants to ascend to the peak of the mountain, pridefully overlooking the 9 provinces and gazing down at the people. How can we lack a heavenly artifact? As for Miss Zhao, I apologize for that. First, let's join forces to defeat the strongest. Defeat this scholar again. As if there were an unspoken agreement, the two stepped forward a few paces, taking advantage of the momentum. Surrounded by the morning clarity, Zhao King's gaze swept over the two corpses. Although they will be besieged, but her expression remained indifferent, radiating an aloof superiority. Ants unite. He is confident. With a single palm I can suppress two insignificant beings. Young generation, perhaps only Chuanyu and Chenking. Only then can I be his opponent. This is not blind confidence. It is merely a clear understanding of one's own abilities. Thus, a rich, multicolored glow enveloped him, a pair of lotus petals radiating brilliant rays of sunset. Offended, Yi Tianqian spoke up. Without hesitation, he unleashed his secret technique. The entire body suddenly swelled, over 10 jang high, like a towering mountain. The fists are strong and powerful. Waiku, next moment, it felt like a bucket of ice water was poured over my head. A chill rushed from the soles of my feet straight to the top of my head, as if falling into an ice cave. The oil-like patterns gather, forming beads hovering above him, fell down hard. Yitan's pupils rapidly constricted. The fist strikes out rapidly. The beast's shadow howls. Aj! A sea of blood surged forth. Zhu Beiweng's expression was calm and unperturbed. The boundless might of Shenwei. A terrifying strike instantly shattered the beast's shadow. 3 layers of light screens appeared before Yi Tian. He did his utmost. Use magical artifacts for defense. However, the gap is really too big. The bone snapped with a crack. A gaping hole was blown into his chest. Bloodstains spread. He couldn't bear the terrifying opportunity that Zhu Beiwing radiated with a mere gesture. Zhao Qingju's expression suddenly changed. The body is tense, quietly turning the sacred body. Yi Tian's body lay curled on the ground. The intense pain nearly caused him to faint. Eyes filled with resentment and fear. He couldn't believe it. Not willing to believe either. Cannot accept the reality before me. This familiar technique. The fifth. Yi Tianquan vomited thick blood. The eyes longed to split. Strange pain in the internal organs. The heart felt as if it were being slowly pierced by 1,000 blades. Bright and clear universe, I hope you have been well. Zhu Beiwang's smile was warm and gentle. Long fingers clenched into a fist. True Kai rampage. Directly bomb it down. But the golden true energy penetrates everything. Quanjing fell onto Yi Tian's chest. A wisp of crimson flame burns within. In an instant, the zombie consciousness. No evidence. Zhao Qingju felt like facing a formidable enemy. The expression no longer holds the earlier pride. He turned into a lingering shadow, disappeared from the spot. At first glance, the ancient castle shone brilliantly. The white robe unfurled and fell. Bum! The blood-offering ceremony at dusk. Colliding violently with the ancient castle. Magical energy spills everywhere. Zhu Beiweng's expression revealed a sense of detachment. Ling Shi was getting closer to the fragrant and dark Cao Qingju. Rummel, rummel. The boundless sea of blood surged once again. Amidst the blood and vigor, a world has emerged. The mountains, rivers, and houses are all filled with ominous energy, and then shattered. Zhu Ilio, Zhao Qingju reprimanded. A peach blossom appeared before me. Brilliant radiance. Zhao Liao Wan Yu contains immense power. This is the divine power of the sacred land of Yeisai. Terrifying and mysterious. Peach blossoms can bury the 7 souls and 6 spirits of a strong warrior. Speak of evil treatment. Is it so difficult to call me Zhu Gongzi gently? Zhu Beiwang's gaze was icy, leaving with an overwhelming sense of solitude. A thunderous roar echoed through the air. Zhao Qingju plots against friends and foes. A look of disbelief, facing an almost crushing blow, he was forced to offer the holy body, like the brilliance of the 9 heavens pouring down, Cao Qingju's slender waist between her boots, as regular as the stars. Silken patterns appeared on the surface. The patterns, like stars, have not changed. The body still shines brilliantly in red. Not bad, much stronger than the 9 heavens' holy sun. Zhu Beiwang's assistant stood beside him. Give a heavy evaluation. Yu Guanyin turned into dust with this move, yet Cao Qingju remained safe and sound, sufficient to prove the gap between strength and weakness. Damn it! Zhao Qingju's exquisitely beautiful cheeks were cold and icy. The battle intent surged in her beautiful eyes. Shenhui Gugu. The sound of jade and stone trembles endlessly, in the vortex of magic. A jade bracelet shot out like an arrow. Holy rank artifact. Buzz. Qi jade bracelet strikes. Lei Guang Huo. Thunder and lightning. The jade seal fell with a thud on the river bank. Indeed, the direction of the emerald jade bracelet's sweep is clearly towards the Xiang river bank. Bang! The 2 arrows of the divine weapon collided violently. The banks of Xiang River are fragmented. The ground collapsed directly. The palace trembles incessantly, feigning weakness in the east to attack in the west. If it weren't for my own holy tear artifact. You really did steal the jade seal. In the next moment, Zhu Beiwang moved. With one step, you reached the boundary. A handsome face wore a cruel smile. The vast sea of blood spreads. The righteous aura envelops. But the golden true energy surged forth. The red flames seemed capable of burning the heavens above him. Terror energy fluctuations, the strongest palm strikes without warning, almost made Cao Qingju's soul tremble. Puff! The starlight outside the body was shattered. Zhao Qingju's face was pale. 7 eyes sprayed blood. The slender body fluttered like a broken kite, directly crashed into the palace wall. That blood flows from the lips, trickling down the delicate pink neck. Zhao Qingju's hands and feet were icy cold, already lost and dejected. Why is he so strong? This moment, Zhao Qingju felt as if he had fallen into hell, helplessly daring to hold the heart in one hand, especially since he had previously verified with Sheng Dai Bao. It will be false evil turned into real flatfish meat. We need to hunt him down. But in the end, this is the result. Defeat. The opponent was so powerful that it filled him with despair and suffocation. The long-standing pride has completely collapsed. The steadfast heart has been shaken. Zhu Beiwang's expression was calm and unperturbed. It seems like just stepping on an ant is taken for granted. He summoned all his magical artifacts, all shrouded above Cao Qingju's head. Being moved is like dying. If it weren't for the identity of a person with charisma, these two have long since met their demise. Zhu Beiwang took a deep breath. Stay calm. Then, without paying attention, fell into a deep pit. Lifting his hand, he seized the golden and silver jade seals. Without a moment's hesitation, a drop of essence splashed inside. A mysterious and enigmatic sensation arises. Early morning. The Golden Lewin Hall held the morning assembly as usual. On the throne, Wu Zhao looked at the performance score. Then he looked around at the rolling palaces. The Qin City Lord reported a group of meritorious officials. The court must not be stingy with rewards. Prime Minister Zhang Teiyu stepped forward to the Yamen. With a respectful voice, he said. The cabinet immediately arranged. At that moment, boom, a loud sound echoed through the stone. Even the imperial city is shaking. The hall was silent as a grave. The ministers exchanged glances at each other. The gaze was somewhat astonished. Could it be that a powerful entity has invaded Guo Duo? Bing Tianhu. A cool voice came from outside the hall. An old eunuch from a tower entered the palace. Report truthfully. The grand ancestral temple suddenly collapsed and disappeared. In an instant, the court was in an uproar. The ministers looked on in disbelief, unable to hide their shock. Faintly, my heart feels like it's about to shatter. Today brings bad news. If not for human intervention. So what does this mean? They seemed to sense the scent of a dynasty in its twilight. In a daze, I saw the hurried silhouette of an empire on the hunt. Da Kainguo movement turmoil. Morning is when a great disaster is about to occur. Feel the eerie and strange atmosphere in the hall. The old woman sensed the strangeness in her words. In a flurry of correction, it is the ancestral temple of the previous dynasty. The ministers mentioned that their hearts fell back into their throats. Gave the old eunuch a hard glare. It's been over 1,000 years. The temple in Daxia collapsed. It's completely normal. The 9 provinces have always had new kingdoms rising and falling. A saying beyond the world, Da Kain output, to appease the former dynasty's immigrants, and to highlight the purpose of benevolence. Special permission to preserve the Da Zaitai Mayo, supplied by the imperial court for rituals. At that time, we truly gained a wave of good reputation. Now the rule of Da Kayan is deeply entrenched. The ancestral temple of the previous dynasty is dispensable. It's okay if it collapses. Wu Zheyin regained his composure. The tone was solemn and serious. As a proxy of the palace, Wan Zhugong's thoughts foretell a journey of disaster, now seeking the way to mitigate the rice disaster. As the voice fell silent, all the ministers responded in unison. Understood. Den. A flurry of hurried footsteps. Zhang Zion rushed in with urgency. The ministers looked at the appearance of the 4 sky sword Teixi Ling. Abnormal confusion. Queen of heaven. Morning observation of celestial phenomena. The imperial seal of China has appeared in Mangshan. Song Zion-shen's voice trembled slightly. A sense of excitement burst forth uncontrollably. HMPH. Like a giant stone sinking to the lake's bottom. It's truly a terrifying wave of celestial energy. The courtiers gasped in shock. A storm rages within, shocking to the soul, almost spiraling out of the body. Spirit, the great front machine, is constantly searching for the imperial seal of the realm, right under my nose. Han Yang left everyone speechless. On the throne, Wu Zhao's expression was tense, an unparalleled sense of joy. It quickly spread through his chest. During his regency, the spread of the imperial seal occurred. Isn't this fate calling to me? This major news. The 5 trillion hidden desires for power within the heart. Liao Museum has become a great and steadfast ambition. It felt as if I had gained a revelation filled with confidence and strength. I have a special regard for this divine artifact. Victory is inevitable. Zhang Zion struggled to roll forward. In a realm of dead silence, he slowly opened his mouth. The imperial seal also carries a trace of dragon energy. Moment. All is quiet. The 2 characters long collided in the main hall. The sound of gold and stone echoes in my ears. Not inferior to an 18th level earthquake, spreading like a storm in every corner. What is Dragon Kai? It is not the aura of a divine beast, the true dragon. but rather tied to the fate of the dynasty. Blessed by the heavens. Merit protects the body, a treasure blessed by the faith of all living beings. I didn't expect the fall of the great Zaya to have happened so long ago. The dragon energy actually still exists in the world. The key is, the imperial master once revealed, "Your Majesty has relied on the great Kayan dragon Kai to prolong your lifespan. If it can devour another dragon's energy, relying on the special technique of opportunity, perhaps it will awaken." Chapter 93. Goddess save me, seeking a fixed moon. Golden red streaks swept across the sky above Mang Mountain. The news of the imperial jade seal's emergence. It spread to various factions at a terrifying speed. Countless powerful beings are envious, not hesitating to use spatial secret techniques. The void end descends upon Dakhain. Since the beginning of time, 10 divine artifacts were born in the Kyushu region, although the imperial seal of China is ranked the lowest. But it's enough to drive the world crazy. Mangshan's momentum is overwhelming, as thousands of horses gallop forward. Warriors with lower cultivation also heard the news and rushed over, intending to glimpse the majesty of the artifact. It was simply a sea of people. Lung rebellion against heaven. The fierce beasts were frightened into silence. Meanwhile, the abyssal palace shattered explosively. The spiritual energy has nearly vanished. Gray mist slowly rises. 3 figures were thrown into the valley by the force of the energy. One person is gasping for breath, bloodstained, in a half-dead, half-alive state. The girl with wings has a dazed gaze. It seems like they haven't yet recovered from the blow. Zhao Qingju understands clearly, relying on one's own strength. It is no longer possible to seize the imperial seal. She stared at the men outside. The flame that ignited in the eyes has extinguished. The bitterness in my heart began to overflow, both humiliating and unwilling. Zhu Beiweng appeared casual and indifferent. She admitted to feeling a slight sense of glee. At first, she thought it was a sacred treasure, or the spirits of heaven and earth. After all, if only 3 spirits are collected, I never expected it to be a magical artifact. No wonder the Kaiyun Tower has 99 layers of radiant strikes. Abundant harvest. She no longer has any reason to stay. Meaningful and profound. Glimpsed at Zhao Qingju, just about to take out the purple Africa. In an instant, the heavens trembled. The clouds parted. Rune flicker, forge a path to the heavens. A burly old man in shining armor, treading in the void, sweeping with a long spear, like an invincible war god. She continued to hold a handful of thick, short paste. The cheeks are covered in scars. A deep conspiracy targets the white robe, perhaps the younger generation, hand over the jade seal. She smiled, gentle tone. It seems they are exchanging pleasantries with Zhu Beiwan, but the word's spoken. But it's the one who kills the chicken that leads the fire, chilling to the bone. Mask disguises cannot escape the scrutiny of the holy realm. The female figure exudes a powerful aura of Tao and the breath of special laws. Besides being angry, what else could there be? Senior, she stole the jade seal. Unbeknownst to Wen, the night opened up like the blood-red eyes of a hellish ghost, staring fiercely at the enemy. I wish I could tear into its flesh. Zhu Beiweng's expression turned cold, saying nothing. Immediately, the voice of the armored elder echoed like a rainbow. Heroic spirit is powerful, can conquer everything. She fiercely aimed her spear. Zhu Beiwen's human skin mask was revealed. Booming sound. Countless beams of light seek out the essence. The vast mountains transformed into a dusting of powder. Powerful figures from various forces gathered in the valley. Wu Zhao, Zhang Teiyu, and others soon arrived. They saw the handsome man at first glance. The division between black and white hair. Arm hair is profound. There is a golden mark in the center of the forehead. It's you again. Wao's eyes widened in shock. He never expected. The imperial seal of this state fell into Zhu Yi's hands. Recent major events in Kyushu cannot be separated from the shadow of this chat. Everyone had the same look of bewilderment. This powerful rising talent, this already made all major forces wary. Now I can actually obtain the divine artifact. Could it be a cultivator favored by the Tao of heaven? They turned their heads to gaze up at the armored elder in the void. The older generation certainly knows this person. Lived for over 200 years. Tempered through countless battles. Regarded as the martial god of the Jai family. It is also one of the last two sacred realms of the Jai family. You want to betray the country. Such a disaster. I simply cannot keep you. Overlooking Zhu Beiwang's extremely calm expression. Jai family martial god is filled with rage. The voice carried a terrifying pressure. Lightly descending. Zhu Beiwang shook his head and laughed. To say it lightly, the senior's hat is expertly tied. Arriving in grand style. It's just to oppress me. As soon as the words fell, many strong individuals remained expressionless. They know. This person is the reverse age of the fifth demon lord. But when it comes to divine artifacts, I won't give in easily. For the Jai family, this concerns the fate of the dynasty. And can the emperor wake up? It must be obtained at all costs. The vicious treatment of a dog relying on its master. Who can save you this time? Someone secretly curses. Suddenly, a surge of magnificent righteous energy swept through. An elderly man in a scholarly robe suddenly appeared in the arena. His temples were grayed. A warm and kind smile. In the profound incantation, quietly narrating the vicissitudes of time. The crowd was filled with shock. The master has arrived. Jai Yuan, you shouldn't adopt an aggressive attitude. The imperial master reprimends the warrior god of the Jai family. Immediately walked towards Zhu Beiwang. He said gently, Da Qian produced the unparalleled genius. The old man felt very gratified. You will have infinite possibilities in your life. After a pause, he seemed to find it hard to speak. He sighed. The imperial seal is very important to the Da Qian. Please bear with the old man's rudeness. If it's just the imperial seal, he might not get involved in it. But that Liu Longyi, the probability of continuing the emperor's fate, awake it. Zhu Beiwang's expression was calm and unruffled. I didn't expect such a situation. Meeting this renowned imperial teacher of the 9 provinces, treasure of the world belongs to those who are capable. Say it again. This is the imperial seal of the great Xia dynasty. What connection do you have with the Jai family? He remained calm and composed. Not a hint of panic could be seen. Classical Chinese. The whole audience was terrified, facing the peak of prosperity. It may even reach the level of a half-step supreme master. How dare you speak such arrogant words? His words were completely mocking the Jai family. The act of usurping power and seizing authority. The imperial master did not get angry, still wearing a sincere smile. Zhu Xiaoyu, the artifact must undergo a nirvana transformation, driven by the law. You can't use it either. Why not exchange 3 sacred artifacts? He tapped his fingers rhythmically. 3 powerful ancient treasures suspended in the void. A completely black large umbrella, Ji Tian by Rai, a small bronze ding. The cauldron's mouth spouted auspicious clouds. A bamboo slit, Various Confucian immortal folds. On the night of the sermon I offered answers to questions. In an instant, everyone breathes heavily. That is completely ungrateful. A normal person would agree, although it seems like a loss. But this can create a favor owed to the imperial teacher. From now on, it's like having an extra life-saving charm. Wu Zhao was captivated by the phoenix eyes, concealing the disdainful smile in her eyes. This conversation is extremely dismissive, openly rejecting the invitation of the heavenly temple. How could I sell out the face of your emperor's teacher? Zhu Beiwen looked on as if he saw nothing. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, the expression was eerily calm. Zhu Ilio, the imperial seal's dragon energy can awaken your majesty. Don't you want to achieve fame for your contributions? May the Zhu family be blessed with generations of glory and wealth. At this moment, a member of the Jai family spoke out in anger. Everyone was surprised to hear this. Kai Kai stared at the golden mark on the handsome man's forehead. There is a special aura here that differs from true energy. Zhu Beiweng's expression was as dark as water, falling into the tip. The atmosphere fell into a dead silence. The valley was quiet as if no one was there, just when everyone thought Zhu Ilio was weighing the pros and cons. Just a loud shout, Nyan, save me. The sound was like thunder, rolling shockwaves. In an instant, the void, Brr, Huangming resounded. A phantom crimson phoenix soars through the sky. The power was simply overwhelming beyond measure. The noble and aloof woman, standing atop the phoenix, 3,000 strands of hair dance. Ziquan Feiyang, like a celestial being from the ninth heaven. Her beauty is unparalleled in the world. Who dares to touch someone of mine? A voice as cold as ice swept over. All the cultivators stared blankly at this figure, unable to suppress the fear and palpitations. Many people feel a chill down their spine, scalp tingling. This face, beautiful beyond compare. But it was an extremely vicious and cold-blooded heart. Zhu Beiwing swiftly set foot in Africa. Quickly hide under the boss. Clep, the sky once again shows cracks. Figures stepped out from the void. A full 8 strong warriors. Zhu Beiwang suddenly saw the Dong Malwuzui monster. The breath exposed reveals a magnificent scene. This scene, a storm surged in the valley. The crowd was shaken to the core. The 5th demon summoned his subordinates. This is the beginning of an unprecedented war. After he left Dunshi Valley, once again the bloody and terrifying fangs are bared. Open fire with arrows. The officials rushing to the court were all horrified. Their understanding was refreshed once again. For the sake of discussing evil, they actually dispatched such a powerful lineup. It is evident in the heart of the 5th demon. The importance of certain grand scenes is far less than that of Zhu Yi's chat. Noble consort, what does this mean? The imperial master's expression remained calm and undisturbed. Dan Dan asked gently. 5th Jin Shuang's eyes were filled with icy coldness. Cold words. The meaning of killing you. But everyone was in tears. The souls are all in battle. Spoken from the mouth of the 5th demon. This is not arrogance. As if it were taken for granted. The martial god of the Jai family faces the mist-like water. Grip the long gun tightly. The aura of sharpness flows. The rule chain surrounds. You don't want to save His Majesty? He let out an angry laugh. Phoenixes reverse in the void. The voices of the young women in the subgroup were eerie. The emperor's life or death is none of my business. Jijio caught up with the hair on his body. I order the emperor to eliminate all divine beings. Chapter 94. Following the master slayer, the big boss slays the sacred mirror, like 2 demon gods. Who is he? Of course, only wicked talks are allowed. If the family of Jai catches up to this chat, the fifth demon lord is Jun. It was almost like declaring this to the world. Simply outstanding, unrivaled in the world. The crowd was stunned into silence. Who dares to call the fifth demon lord treasonous? Who dares to say he does not distinguish between the high and low? The small group standing at the martial arts grand hall. There is no need for any reason to do things. Will not abide by the world's order and the boundary line of his patience. It is highly likely to be a fake evil chat. The crowd faintly understood. The reason for rejecting the temple of heaven, cared for by such a terrifying existence. Where is there still a thought of betrayal, dispute, Gendan? At that moment, the clear and melodious sound of the piano echoed. At times it is low and mournful. The leaves in the forehouses rustle with a mournful breeze. At times seeking tranquillity amid the vicissitudes. In the mist between the four mountains, Brother Caio beats the drum. An elderly woman with silver hair walked out holding a lute. Three powerful beings followed closely behind. Major forces displayed horror. Even Granny Jin Hua from Liam Luozia Palace has come. Saint Emperor of Luoxia Palace and the Jai family. It is a millennia-long alliance. He came to help. Absolutely normal. The blood of the crowd is faintly burning and boiling. Battle of prestige. How many strong lives must be sacrificed again? Daiwu Jin Shuang's expression was cold, like footsteps, heading into the void. A cold breath swept across 90,000 miles. Wolf Mountain turned into ice and rock. Endless frost spreads. The ferocious beast flies over the cave river. Giant became an iceberg, where phoenix roar, endless flames rise, illuminating the void imprinted in every inch of space. So scary. The crowd was shaken. The imperial teacher fell silent for a moment, stepping into the void. Pet, Jai family, martial god, the spear of contention. The laws of divine love are surging and astonishing, following the footsteps of the emperor's teacher. As he wielded his spear gracefully, many people suffered the calamity of the swift fish, like autumn winds sweeping fallen leaves. All died tragically. Suddenly, the sound of the piano is like a storm. Turbulent waves, awe-inspiring, shaking the heavens and moving the spirits. Grandma Jinhua transforms into Jinha, fading into the horizon. At this moment, the venue fell into complete silence. Yuo Zhenquan. The crowd was stunned into silence by this scene. The fifth demon is going to face three opponents alone. Three holy swords. One of them is even a half-step supreme. One is the peak of the sacred realm. Such arrogance and bravado can endure the sun and moon in the heavens, can cover the universe and the earth. Truly worthy of being the forbidden existence of Jeju. Can he win by luck? If defeated, self-affirmation of mastering escape techniques. But Zhu Ilio is in trouble. Death and the end of the path is still considered light. I will probably be subjected to 1,000 cuts. Many sacred realms are weighing their options. Do you want to assist Master Da Kain? They soon dismissed the idea. According to the personality of the fifth demon lord, if he hadn't died, we must exterminate the entire family of our enemies. It's best to observe the changes quietly. Once he sensed he was falling into despair, then we can unite to eliminate this massive obstacle looming over Jeju. At this moment, without warning, a great melee broke out. The strong members of the Jai clan couldn't hold back. A palm extends out, just about to kill and dig for treasure. Dongmao, the mute monster, stepped forward. Darkness spreads like a ghostly resentment. The aura of rules envelops the opponent. Ah, The valley crumbled, fragmented. Hill, Jai family members, three elders of Liuxia Palace, including powerful figures from minority factions, Kaozu went to suppress the evil in the town. Fengque Menzaya, mysterious powerful beings, invoke the powerful artifact. Divine light surges forth, charged towards the enemy. Faced with this scene, the low-level warrior's legs trembled like a sieve. The power is terrifying. From time to time, people are affected. The body was torn in two, while the ministers watched the battle, cast a subtle gaze towards the Empress of the Empire. Wu Zhao's expression was unpredictable. Still hasn't given the order. All major factions also took notice. This power-hungry woman, they harbored a secret in their hearts. There is at least one holy mirror beside this woman, and several nirvana mirrors. Join the battle. It may tilt the balance of the battle. The direction of the Ko family's fortune has shifted. Why hesitate? It seems that the day before yesterday. My heart is enduring torment. Empathy. This contradiction could drive a person crazy. She certainly wants to spread the imperial seal. Mastering the divine artifact. Zhu Chenghao's grand momentum. The jade seal represents the mandate of heaven, adding several points to the chances of usurping power. But she is afraid that the Jai family will obtain the jade seal. The most important thing is the fear of pulling out that strand of the container. This woman, most unwilling for the emperor to awaken. Once awakened, her hard-earned power finally crumbled. Xu Xing had arranged everything. All will fade away. Ambition and desire. All listen to desire. Xu Xing arranged everything. All will vanish into smoke. Ambition and desire. All listen to desire.